Janie McKirgan, and she's with us here this morning in our studios right across the street from the Jimmy Stewart Museum. She, of course, the executive director at the Jimmy Stewart Museum, and the person who brought this thing to the sidewalk of downtown Indiana. Janie, good morning.
Good morning, Todd.
It's good to have you with us here today. What is that thing over there?
It's quite a thing. We brought it in by crane yesterday. It is an exhibit, multi-dimensional exhibit called Tune In, the 2021 American Tour. And it is a huge box with a bunch of TV screens in it. And basically what it shows you is different clips from the 60s. They mined a bunch of videos, so you're going to see music, TV shows, Walter Cronkite and JFK and Martin Luther King. And so you're going to be inspired. You're going to talk about it. You're going to see some things that are familiar. You're going to see us walking on the moon or the civil rights movement. So it's kind of a piece of time when we all gathered around their TV and nobody had cell phones or laptops or anything. And we all together watched the same thing, talked about it.
Yeah.
And we don't do that anymore.
Yeah. Our conversation, by the way, brought to you by Marcus and Mack, a law firm representing injured people. It was fascinating just watching it get offloaded and set up yesterday.
I didn't think I'd ever be directing a huge crane before.
You're pretty good at it.
Thank you.
They put it down right where you told them.
They did. There was a big X on the sidewalk like Roadrunner used to put for Wile E. Coyote.
All you needed to do was stay out from underneath
it
because the thing weighs 4 tons.
Oh, it's heavy.
Yeah. My goodness, it doesn't look like it does, but that's an amazing thing. So this was offered to practically anybody, and you snapped it up.
It is. I got an email out of the blue over a month ago that said this exhibit is traveling across America, and would you be interested in having it? And when I found out it was a no cost to us, because obviously we couldn't have afforded anything at this point in time, I reiterated, are you sure this is free? They said yes. And so I said, why us? And they said, well, you were the first one to answer the email in your area.
How about that?
So it's traveling to 10 museums or art museums across America. I think it's going to Ohio after us, and then Texas and California. So I thought, why not bring something like this to Indiana? Yeah. We don't get the opportunity very often.
Great conversation piece. It's not going to fit on your mantle, but
no, that's for sure.
It's good that it's here. And for 3 weeks.
4 weeks.
4 weeks.
Till May 6th.
May 6th. Oh, great. That's terrific. Now, the museum, of course, taking advantage of it, you've done some things inside the museum, too.
We have. We're starting to do a rotating exhibit hallway, so we change it 4 times a year. With Christmas always doing It's a Wonderful Life. But right now we do have an exhibit called Stewart on the Small Screen. And it's highlighting Jimmy Stewart's television career, which a lot of people don't remember. But he had 2 TV shows. One was Hawkins, which was part of a rotating Tuesday night movie of the week with like Shaft.
Yeah.
And then he also had the Jimmy Stewart Show, which was a family show, hour long. He was a professor, anthropology professor, I can say that. And his whole family was living with him, including his older son. So we did that.
Just a week or so ago, it was some celebrity's birthday who was a regular on that show. And so I was reading about the show and how well received it was and how many people loved it.
Yeah.
But it only was on for 1 year.
It was.
It's such a hidden gem. And one of the things, when you get a new TV, it comes sometimes with neat packages, and mine came with Zumo and The Tonight Show. Jimmy Stewart was a legend on The Tonight Show.
He was. We feature in the new exhibit a lot of his guest appearances on talk shows, on variety shows, on game shows. He did Password. But yeah, he was a legend. He read his famous poem about Bo the dog with Johnny Carson, made Johnny Carson cry.
Saw that one a week or so ago.
Yeah, that's amazing. And then we have a picture of him on the Mike Douglas show with Bob Hope and a young Tiger Woods, who was 4 to 5 years old, who was a little phenom then.
Yeah, I remember that too.
Yeah. So there's a lot of really his guest appearances are fascinating on like the Dean Martin show and the Carol Burnett show and
The celebrity roast, the Dean Martin celebrity roast.
Yeah. We sell that in the museum store too. Yeah. That's a hoot.
So that's one of the things that folks can see at the museum right now. Now, when's this current exhibit going to rotate out?
It's going to rotate out at the end of June.
Okay. So you've got time to get in and see it, but do get in and see.
Yeah. And we have a couple new things in the museum. We got donated his uniform that he wore in the Glenn Miller story from a costume collector that loaned it to the museum on a permanent loan. And we have his tuxedo that he used to wear to his award show. So we have that out as well.
Yeah. That's one of the interesting things to me is, when you go through the closet at the Jimmy Stewart Museum, you find things that maybe you didn't even know were there and in the museum's possession, and you get a chance to put it out on display.
We do. We have these archives that when I'm having a bad day, I just go dig through. And I found the tuxedo way in the back behind all these things. I'm like, I didn't know he had his tuxedo. Yeah. So his shirt was really yellowed. So we went down to Josh at the 700 shop, and he donated a shirt and bow tie to go with the pants and jacket. So it's great.
How about that? That's wonderful. Wonderful. So people are going to see that at the Jimmy Stewart Museum. Now, the new restrictions that are lessened and took effect on Sunday it was, probably mean good things for Jimmy Stewart Museum.
It does. We were really limited, especially in our theater, which is a 50-seat theater. We could only have, I think, like 14 now. Now we can have up to 35 people in the theater. So that's a huge jump. Yeah. We still have every other row blocked off so you can be socially distant. And we still have lots of room to go. I mean, people are trickling in and it's picking up a little bit, but there is so much room. We have 6 galleries, lots of room to socially distance. It's a pretty safe place to come visit. Yeah,
and that's one of the things with this pandemic and people being confined so much and not a whole lot of travel opportunities. Now's the time for Indiana County people to go to the Jimmy Stewart Museum. If they've been there before, it's different now, boys and girls, and the displays change all the time. New things debut. And if somebody from around this area has not been to the museum for a while, this is a great time to do it.
It's a brand new museum. If you've seen it before, people who have come in who saw it before have said, wow, this is completely different. So it'll be a new experience for you. Be a tourist in your own hometown. Come see us.
Sure. New paint job, too.
Yeah, new paint job, too, which is a big thing. That's a thanks to the Stewart children, the Stewart Foundation. Yeah. They are very big supporters of the museum, and I'm in close contact with them, and they funded the paint job, which was really nice. Yeah. And we couldn't have survived this pandemic without some companies that stepped up to sponsor galleries. We thought we were going to use that to do some new hands-on computers and touchscreens, and we actually used that to stay open. And it was Ruskini Group, First Commonwealth Bank, S&T Bank, First Bank. They all stepped up and really saved us through this pandemic.
It's amazing to me, the companies, and we hear the same names a lot, the companies that really, they have a heart for Indiana.
They do.
And those that you just named really have a heart for Indiana, and they stand up and they take the lead when they are called upon. And sometimes they're not even called upon and they take the lead. So we thank them so very, very much. And the Jimmy Stewart Museum is such a big, big thing. Now, I know that tour groups, of course, they were curtailed last year and you weren't able to welcome a lot in.
Oh, we had 15 tour buses coming in last year that canceled.
Yeah.
That's 30 to 50 people per bus. That's a lot of people that shop here, eat here, potentially stay here. So we're hoping to be part of the recovery once we open up and tour groups come back and we get people to come here. We always encourage them to go downtown, to eat, to shop, send them all over the place. So hopefully we can help Indiana recover.
One of the interesting things about that is you're still tied to whatever the government says that you can do, and so are they. And so the tour companies, they can't really schedule long-term ahead because they just don't know what the restrictions are going to be. But the sooner we can emerge from this and they can begin to schedule again. Otherwise, you're talking about a lot of really quickly planned trips and off they come.
I'm looking probably this fall they'll start picking up. Maybe, I don't know if this summer is yet. I think more people need to be vaccinated, feel more comfortable traveling.
Sure.
But hopefully this fall, and with the 75th anniversary of It's a Wonderful Life this December, we're really planning some big things. So hopefully that'll attract people to come here.
You're not going to let any secrets slip this morning, are you?
I did. And we're getting Carolyn Grimes, who played Zuzu on It's a Wonderful Life. She's coming into town. God willing that nothing foreseen happens with this pandemic that we don't know about. The weekend of the parade, which is a weekend before Thanksgiving. And I'm sure she'll be in the parade. And then we're busy planning other events and things so you can meet her and see her on that weekend.
How about that?
Yeah.
That is amazing. The number of people who were actually in movies with Jimmy Stewart is dwindling.
It is.
And so when we can attract one here, that's a wonderful thing.
Absolutely.
Jimmy Stewart Museum is such a part of our community now, the 25th anniversary having just passed, and you didn't get the chance to really do it up big like you would have liked to.
I know. And we still really can't do it up big just yet. His birthday is coming up in May. We don't want to attract huge crowds just yet because of the restrictions and because of COVID. But we are offering on his birthday on the 20th, you can buy one, get one free. So you can come in for half price with your spouse or significant other or somebody else. And we'll have some kind of birthday cupcakes or cookies you can take away. So we'll do something on a small scale this year and hopefully do it up big.
Shop's still open.
It is. You can come in and shop, and you do not have to pay admission. You can come on in and check out our store.
That's terrific news. And it's a wonderful website.
Thank you.
Get that. It's a wonderful website. You ought to use that.
Thank you. It is a wonderful website. It's www.jimmy.org. We just redid that during the pandemic. That's when we were closed. I used my time to redesign that along with a local company called Planful. And they did that. It's nice to use local people to help you out. And we have had so much more traffic to that site. And our online store, which wasn't really not that functional, has helped us survive the pandemic as well because it's more user-friendly and people are buying stuff online that can't make it to the museum. Yeah,
people can learn about the museum at the website, which I think you ought to also open up a second website called It's a Wonderful Website.
I'll take note of that.
You ought to do that. But it's a great way for people to support the museum, to learn about what you have coming. And so it's something we really need to keep in track with.
We always post whatever our new exhibits are. There's blogs there. There is podcasts. We have a guy down in Texas who interviews stars and puts some on our website so you can listen to podcasts. There's his filmography, his biography. So you can learn a lot about him just from the website.
Yeah. Terrific stuff. All right, Janie McKirgan, we're so glad you came in today to tell us about
the thing.
The thing on the sidewalk.
Come check it out. It's going 24 hours a day, so you can see it. It's a 12-minute loop, so you can see it anytime. Yeah, it's terrific. And, of course, then head on upstairs to the museum. Absolutely. Janie, thank you so much. Thank you, Todd. It is the voice of Indiana County, WCCS 101.1 FM and AM 1161, FM and AM 1161.